Hi everyone, welcome to practice. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Anna. This is AWH Yoga. So our practice today is inspiring me to share with you a little bit about sort of the way I've been feeling going through some transition times. I wanted to put something together that's a short, basic, grounding reset flow that I think can really support things that a lot of us are going through right now. The elements of the opportunity for the world to be opening back up again and for things to be hopeful is sometimes a little bit difficult when we've been working in sort of survival mode for a while. So I know that personally I'm working towards some positive things in my life, and it's giving me a lot of pause and anxiety and stress, even though I know that these are good things. So I've tried to think about how that is a parallel to sort of the world at large and what many of us are feeling as we start to have good, positive, hopeful things in front of us based on the COVID situation. So I hope that this flow can bring you a little bit of the openness that I think we all need to embrace while we work toward a more positive and hopeful future. And I hope that you enjoy it. So if you have any props this evening, you will benefit from 2 blocks, a strap, and if you have a pillow or a blanket or something to raise you from the floor a little bit in our seated postures, that will help as well. I am working off script tonight. This is my first flow back in a couple weeks filming, so this is going to be super real and raw, and I hope you enjoy it. That being said, please take care of yourself, know where your edge is, only you know, and be compassionate with yourself tonight. Let's get started in child's pose. So bring yourself down to the mat. Knees can be the width of the mat or slightly closer. Bring the hips to the heels and then stretch forward, palms to the ground, stretching the forehead toward the earth, and just drop in. You may notice as you bring your body into stillness that already you can feel some of that resistance. The mind will continue to check off lists and make to-dos, and it wants to sort of keep running. The motor keeps running, but just give it a few moments. Breathing into the stillness and letting your mat support you. As you continue to breathe here, just begin to observe your inhales and your exhales with mindfulness. I feel so often that when we are operating in that survival mode, or when we're just powering through to get to another side and we don't know where that even is, we're often holding our breath. So right now, give yourself permission to breathe freely, to be still, and to be safe. Let's take one more deep breath here together, in through the nose, and exhale, gentle sigh out of the mouth. And slowly, keeping your forehead toward the ground or on the ground, and your hips to your heels, move your hands toward the right side. Feel the stretch in that left side body, getting space between those ribs, working to keep those heels and hips locked together, and breathe. One more deep breath here together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, soft sigh out of the mouth. Slowly bring your hands back towards center and take one breath here. See if you can settle in 1 more inch into your child's pose. Deep breath in. And exhale out. And now the other side. So gently keeping yourself flat to the floor, moving your arms toward the left side, stretching through that right side body, keeping that right hip and heel connected, and breathe. One more breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, soft sigh out of the mouth. And bring yourself carefully back to center. And then I want you to lift your torso up, moving your weight onto your hands, coming right into our tabletop position. So we're on all fours here. Your wrists are under your shoulders, knees under your hips, gentle pressure on the tops of your feet and shins. And then soften between your shoulder blades as you broaden the collarbones and lengthen the cervical spine. Gently draw your navel to your spine, being mindful of getting that neutral back alignment. So we don't want to be dropped down too low or arched too high. We're really aiming to be completely neutral and soft. One breath here. And you can begin to use your Ujjayi pranayama if that's in your practice, where we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose with a gentle constriction at the back of the throat. Let's practice that together. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And return to your normal comfortable breath, or continue using your Ujjayi breath as we move through the practice. We're going to move gently into some cat-cows. Continue to warm up the spine. So inhale, drop the belly, chest and chin toward the sky. This is our cow pose. And then reverse that. Exhale, cat pose. Bring the navel toward the spine. Arch like a Halloween cat. Really allow the stretch, allowing your head to pull you forward. And then returning back. Inhale, drop the belly down, cow pose. Do a few more like this, just warming up the spine. Really feel that breath in the back body when you move into your cat pose. So maybe even let your cat pose just be a little bit longer, more exaggerated, really feeling that stretch through the upper back as you move through the cycle. Remember to let this be yours. Every day the body is different and needs something new, and this is your chance to explore what your body needs. Let's do one more together. Inhale, or wherever you are in your rhythm. And then when you've completed that, come back to your neutral tabletop position. Beautiful. So we're going to move into a variation of gate pose. I'm going to show you this way. You guys can stay on your mat where you are, but I want you to extend your right leg out and try to get your foot completely flat on the ground. So this is a lot of kind of work already here for the hips. So be gentle with yourself as you move into this, and then move your hands back toward the body and raise up onto that left knee. So you've got 2 points of foundation, your left leg, shin and top of your foot, and then your right leg with foot flat. So I want you to stretch your left arm up, keep your shoulders soft, place your right hand down on the side of your leg, stretching over to the right. Stretching over, soften the shoulders, try to feel that stretch like we felt in our child's pose, opening everything up, chest to the sky, keep breathing. And then back to the center, lifting your right arm up, drawing those hip points and ribs together slightly. And now let's move to the other side. Place your left palm on the ground next to you, and then stretch so you've got that long line from your right side of your, outside of your right foot all the way to the tips of your right fingers, and breathe. One more breath here. Try not to lock that left elbow. Keep those shoulders soft. letting the air fill you up and keep you buoyant. One more breath. And then pressing down through your foundation points, which is your left leg and your right foot, lifting yourself back up, both arms up, and then bring your palms back down to the all fours position and return your right leg into tabletop. Very nice. Move through to the other side. So take your left foot out to the side, aim to get that left foot completely flat on the ground, and that toe is flush with your right knee. And then move the hands back toward the body, pressing down through those foundation points, lifting yourself up. Place your left hand on the outside of your left leg. It's stretching that right arm over. Stretch to the left. Feel that beautiful stretch. Feel the air filling you up, keeping you light. One more breath here. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. Inhale, both arms up above you, and then carefully placing your right palm down on the ground beside you, keeping that left foot on the ground. I had to adjust mine there. And then stretching that left arm over so that you can feel the stretch from the outside of your left leg all the way through to your left fingertips, softening the shoulders, keeping that chest open, keeping a soft bend in that right elbow so you don't lock that out. One more breath here. Inhale, rooting down through your foundation points, lifting yourself back up, placing your palms gently down into that all fours position, and then returning your left knee back down. Beautiful. So I'm going to return to this side view here. And what we want to do now is just gently curl your toes, and then we're going to actually sit back if you can, hips to heels, but on the toes for toe stand. So this is a great place for a block if you want to use a block underneath so you don't have full pressure on your toes. In addition, you can just keep the weight managed on the toes by just leaning forward a little bit. But if you can reach to toe stand, you want to be placing, stretching the feet. You're sitting on the balls of the feet. Put your hands in prayer, shoulders soft. Again, take any modification you need. Maybe you do that for just a moment, and you come back, and you sit in just sort of your Virasana pose. Wherever you are, just take 2 good breaths. Took such a deep breath there that my back cracked. Much needed. One more breath here. Slowly remove any props if you use them. Come back into your tabletop, and if you were on your toes before, you might want to give them a little bit of a shake out, get the blood kind of flowing. And then when you're satisfied there, again, find that neutrality, soften the upper back, broaden the collarbones, getting that gentle, neutral lower back, and squeezing a little bit in those outer hips so that everything is kind of pulling in toward the midline and you feel super light. And then when you're ready, curl those toes back under and hover the knees a couple inches off the ground. We're going to do 3 breaths here, letting everything warm up. You might get a little bit of shaking going on. I know I am. I'm working this practice right with you guys. I did not warm up at all. One more good breath here. And then exhale, drop the knees back down. Nice. We're going to do that one more time. So take a breath in. Exhale out, keep the toes curled under, and then lift those knees up, drawing that navel to the spine, keeping that soft upper back, bringing everything in toward the midline. 2 more breaths here. Try not to lock those elbows out. Looking ahead a little bit, so you don't want to look straight down. You're going to keep that cervical spine nice and long. One more breath. And then exhale, softly bring the knees down. And then we're going to move into our downward facing dog. So you can just pop your hips back up since you had your toes curled. Move into your downward facing dog. And we're just going to take a little bit of dynamic movement here. Stretching through the calves, stretching through the feet. Allow your body to feel this movement.
probably a different movement than all the movement you did today. If you were driving or sitting, chasing the kids around, shoveling snow, probably none of it involved this movement. So really embrace this completely new experience. Getting that length in the spine as you focus on making that V shape with your body, aiming your heels toward the mat. And if they never reach, it's never a problem. And let's come to stillness for just a moment. Keep your knees bent if you need to. I will have a generous bend in my knees probably throughout this whole practice. Take a deep breath in. Look forward between your palms and then ever so carefully, as if you need to get a million steps between here and there, tippy toe to the front of your mat, bringing your feet hips width distance apart to the front of your mat. And then I want you to place your palms flat on the ground, knees stay bent, squeeze those outer hips in, folding the body over, or maybe you're here with your block. Wherever you are, I want you to think about this fold as getting length from the bottom of your heel all the way through the entire sheath of your body, all the way to the crown of your head. Visualize that stretch as you deepen into our forward fold or ragdoll. Clasp your opposite elbows as you hang here and use that to really pull your body down. Feel the stretch in that lower back. Remember, keeping those knees nice and bent. Let's do 2 more good breaths here. Return your palms to the floor, and now I want you to root down through your feet, keeping that energy going down as you take the top half of your body, leading with your arms, wings out. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up, shoulders soft, hands through heart center, and then down by your side for our mountain pose. We'll continue this movement so we can get a couple of suns in here before we go back down to the mat. So inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, keep your knees bent, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, knees can stay bent. Place your palms flat on the floor, stepping right foot back, left foot back, plank pose. So we've already warmed up the core slightly, but here you want that one long line. You can drop your knees if you need to, and then pitching forward, squeezing those elbows in, dropping halfway down, cobra or upward dog, curling the toes back, lifting hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward between your palms, hop, step, or float. Do the same thing you did last time, coming to the front of your mat, landing in your halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, palms to the floor. Again, root down through your feet, squeeze those outer hips in, arms to the side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, down by your side, Tadasana. We'll keep going. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, maybe you do left foot, right foot this time. Knees down or not, pitching forward, dropping down halfway, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. We're going to pick up the pace. Inhale, looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, land in your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, root to rise, arms all the way to the side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. We'll keep going, one more. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms to heart center, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, you know where you're going. Ardha Uttanasana, palms to the floor, stepping right foot back, left foot back, pitching forward, squeeze those elbows in, flipping over your feet, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra, all the way back to your downward facing dog. Deep breath in, inhale, bending the knees generously, looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, land in halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, root to rise, arms out to the side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to heart center. Very nice. Hands to your side, Tadasana. We're going to keep going. Here we go. Maybe.
Okay. Inhale, arms up, chair pose. Now your feet can be hips width distance apart or closer, whatever's comfortable for you. Squeeze those outer hips in, soften the back like we've been working through this entire practice. Opening that chest, arms can be here or here. Drop down another inch, really feel that here in that outer hip, squeezing it in. And then exhale, let it go, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to the floor. Step your right foot back and hold low lunge. So in this low lunge, start to feel you're pressing through the foundation, that left ankle is under the left knee, stretching through that right hip flexor, and I want you to get a little bit of wiggle going on in here. So I want you to use your palms to either hold yourself stable or up. You can use your blocks as well. Get a little bit of movement here. And then when you're ready, come to stillness, squeezing that outer hip in so you're feeling that buoyancy. So this is what it looks like, kind of dumping into the hip, squeezing it. I don't even need my hands. That's how much work is being done here. Drop the right knee down, uncurl your right toes, lift all the way up, Anjaneyasana. Continuing to get that stretch in the right hip flexor, soften the shoulders, soften them more. 2 deep breaths here. Settling your mind. 1 more breath. And then exhale, hands to heart center, palms back down flat, uncurl your right toes, coming back to that low lunge position. And I want you to pop the left foot back, super silent and strong, plank pose. 3 breaths here. 1. You can do your ujjayi or your exhale. Drop that butt down so you're one long line. Squeeze those elbows in. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath here. Nice. Hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Land in your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Back to our chair pose again. Biceps by your ears or here in heart center. Squeeze those outer hips in. Make sure you can see your toes and your weight is in your heels. 1 more breath. And extend all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, hands exhale down through heart center, Tadasana. Other side, keep going. Inhale, chair pose. Squeeze those outer hips in. You've been here a couple times. Weights in the heels. Broadening that chest, softening the shoulders. 1 more breath. Can you drop down 1 more inch? And exhale, let it go, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor, step your left foot back, and then hold low lunge. So again, in our low lunge, we want to make sure that we're really squeezing that outer hip. So I'm letting kind of everything fall to feel that extra stretch in the hip flexor. I'm sort of dumping my weight, and it's also popping my knee and ankle out of alignment. So squeezing everything in, you can see that really secures that line. 1 more breath here. And now do a little bit of movement. So you can push your palms back down closer to the floor, and it's okay to now move that knee over the ankle. Just get a little bit of movement here. Careful with your body. Careful with your body. I can hear my ankle popping every time. And then you just want to get a little bit of movement, and when you're ready for stillness, come back. Squeeze that outer hip in, and then drop your left knee down. Uncurl your toes. Press down through the shins and tops of your feet, all the way up, Anjaneyasana, soften the shoulders. For me, as soon as I work to get that energy coming up, I can feel my shoulders lifting. But you want to lift through that body and then soften your shoulders down. So in yoga, we often give cues that say as you move through one posture, one cue, you're also doing something else, and sometimes it doesn't always feel like it's in harmony. Bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, palms back down. Uncurl your toes. Curl your toes back up. Coming back in to your low lunge. Again, finding that buoyancy. So instead of dropping in, feeling super light, looking forward. 2 breaths here. And when you're ready, pressing down through your palms and then lifting ever so strong and silent
so that your right foot comes right back into plank pose, super strong. 3 breaths here. That was 1. You guys can see me shaking. It's not easy. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. 1 more breath. And then you can choose to drop your knees, pitching forward, squeezing those elbows in. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Cobra, popping those heels back up into our downward facing dog, looking forward between the palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Linden halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Weights in the heels, you can see your toes. Think of the bottom half of your body rooting down and this upper half feeling super light and buoyant, using those legs to do the work. Soften the shoulders, chin's about parallel to the floor. 1 more breath. Now we're going to twist to the right. So dropping down a little bit more, and then you're working to twist above the navel, above your belly button, twisting to the right so your left elbow comes to the outside of your left knee. Now, this is a great place for a block. This will help you stay stable and really work these muscles. But if not, just imagine that the block is there. As you twist, you want to lengthen. So you're thinking of not keeping the body caved in and constricted, but everything is long. 2 more breaths here in a prayer twist. And coming back to the center, hold for just a moment. You can do it. And then we're going to twist to the left. So twisting above the belly button. So we're not twisting the whole body. Knees stay the same, hips stay the same, just twisting that upper body, which means your elbow might not get very far. You might get to here, but try to work to get your right elbow outside of your left knee and find the ease in this. This is a challenging posture. Twists are really intense sometimes. Make it easy. Make it easy. Allow yourself to find ease when things feel difficult. 2 more breaths here. You guys are doing amazing. 1 more breath. Squeeze those outer hips in. This block really helps that process, by the way. And then coming back to center, holding. 1 more breath. And then exhale, let it all go. Folding forward, carefully removing your blocks. And then I want you guys to find yogi toe grip. So take your first 2 fingers, place them between your first and second toe, make a little hook, and then take your thumb, sort of cap that on your big toe, and then pressing down through your heels, allowing yourself to find that lift. So you're finding a lift, like using your toes as a lever, get that lift and length, and then folding forward. If this is not really your jam today, you can also keep your feet slightly closer and work to put your elbows kind of where your knees are, your tips of your fingers to the bottom of your heels, and try to work to close your arms together and fold that way. Again, you can see I have my knees bent. Sometimes this just feels really nice and safe when you can sort of cave in to yourself, but you're standing up. So you're getting that inversion benefit and that nice fold. 1 more breath here. Nice. So wherever you are, I want you to either release your yogi toe grip or bring your feet back out to hips width. Come into your halfway lift Ardha Uttanasana, and then come down into your yogi squat. So opening your hips out, another great place for your block. Placing your butt down on the block, or if you're hovered up, you can use your elbows to push slightly against your inner legs and really feel that openness in the inner thighs. And if you can, really think about kind of popping up out of your shell here. So we don't want to be caved in. We're open. We're open to
receive good things. You're open to new experiences. You're open to what is next. Take 3 good breaths here. And after your 3 breaths, if crow pose is in your practice, feel free to take crow or any variation. Or if you want to hang out with me here in yogi squat, it's a great place to be. Really let yourself sink all the way in here, thinking of rooting down through the feet, lifting up through the chest. One more deep breath here. And then our crows can fly. And how about everyone who's not in crow, let's do a little bit of sort of a twist. So bring your right shoulder down toward your right knee and extend your right arm out, palm to the floor. And stretching across the body, left arm up, so you can feel from your right fingers to your left fingers, that super stretch. If you feel any tension or strain, you can come back and just do one hand. If you have a bind in your practice, you can take a bind here, always keeping that chest open. Openness is the name of the game. One more breath here. And then slowly coming out of your bind, bringing yourself back to center. We'll move to the other side. Again, you could sit on your block for this entire duration. Crows, you can continue another crow, maybe a side crow. And I'll demonstrate this on the block. So moving my left shoulder toward my left inner knee, placing my left hand down, and then placing the palm on the floor, feeling that stretch all the way through. My cross arm goes all the way up. And you can look to where your neck is comfortable. I always find for me, though I know yoga is really has a foundational element of the gaze, I have such issues with my neck that I was very grateful to have teachers that finally said, no, you can just look where your neck is comfortable. So always remember that. Maybe you take a bind here, maybe you take half a bind. Maybe you do a hybrid where you're doing sort of one arm here, half a bind. Wherever you are, explore that. Really breathe into it. This actually feels really nice with the block. Highly recommend. And remember, you don't have to have a block, you can have a book. 2 books, 5 books, whatever you want. One more breath here. Slowly make your way back into center. Crows that were flying, come back and meet us in yogi squat. And then everybody sort of drop your butt to the floor. I want you to come into boat pose. Just a moment. Vinyasa boat pose. Keeping your sits bones grounded if you can. Just keep that chest open, but feel the difference now. We have neutral legs. We have that openness going on. Now we have the neutral legs. Feel the difference. 2 more breaths. It's nice and strong, but also soft. And then grab your knees and bring them in. I want you to do 3 rock and rolls. Keeping that movement going. Giving the spine some love. You can place your hands on your knees. You can place them underneath. Okay, I know we did 3. Let's do 3 more just because. And all right, on your next one, whatever number that is, we're going to come up to standing. So give yourself enough momentum, but not too much. And you're going to come up to standing. Inhale, nice and strong. Exhale, hands through heart center, down by your side. Nice job, guys. Okay, go back to the mat, cool down a little bit. You earned it. So down on our mat, we're going to start with our butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together. Another great place for blocks here to place them under your knees if your knees are not close to the floor, especially runners and individuals who do a lot of like lifting and power lifting. Sometimes this can be super tight. Or some of us that sit all day and don't have an opportunity to move our bodies in the way they need to be moved. So place your place your thumbs on the soles of your feet and open up your feet like a book. As you do this, notice that it allows you to open up your chest at the same time. So as you open the soles of your feet, you open up your chest. Take a breath here. You start to come down. And we'll just slowly fold forward. So think length first. All folds start with length. So we're lengthening, lifting up, lengthening the spine, and then folding forward. And take 3 to 5 breaths here. I'm going to use my block to make this slightly more restorative. Feel free to do the same. Placing your forehead on the block, releasing the pressure from your neck, and just softening into this fold. One more breath here together. Carefully bring yourself back up. I feel like I've been there long enough that I got a mark on my forehead. That's a good amount of time. Lifting back up. Spine is long, shoulders are soft. Carefully work to close your knees and legs together, extending your left leg out. Place the right sole of your foot on your inner left thigh. Straighten that leg, toes to the sky, gentle energy there. We're in our seated tree pose. Find your sits bones. Lifting your arms up, and then lift and lengthen, and then folding over that left leg. One more deep breath here. Carefully lifting back up, and then move your left leg over about degrees and move your right leg slightly away from the body. Place your right palm diagonally behind you, and then I want you to pick yourself up, stretching again. So this is our left side. This is what I call sidewinder. Big left toe all the way through to the tips of your left fingers. Feel that stretch all the way through the body. Incredible openness. Pause here and take as many breaths as you need. Really giving yourself time to feel each part open up. And then carefully bring your body back down. And then moving your legs back out in front of you, doing a little thank you legs. And then keep your right leg extended. Bring your left sole of your foot into the right inner thigh for seated tree on the other side. And then find your sits bones, get situated, and then lifting both arms up, inhale, get tall, lift and lengthen, and then folding over that right leg for 3 breaths. If you're ever working through your practice and you just want to be doing something on your own, if you see something in a class that you like and you're not sure how to hold it, 2 or 3 to 5 breaths. So you can just say 3 to 5 breaths for a good amount of time to stay in a posture, and you'll get a lot of benefit. Remember that sometimes your body is going to resist you, and so you might be a little bit higher on one side, and you might not feel like you're getting the same amount of benefits, but your body is different. So wherever you are, soften in, be compassionate, and just work with the breath. Let's take one more breath here together. Carefully bring your body back up and move to sidewinder on the other side. So take your right leg and move it over degrees, and then take your left foot out slightly from the body, placing your left palm down behind you diagonally and sort of sweeping up into that position, keeping that right foot grounded.
the tip of your right toe all the way through the right side body, sort of through that pointer finger. Again, pause me and work through this for as long as you need. Even taking a moment to come out of it and go back into it, making it more dynamic. Feel how much more stretch you can get. One more breath. And then carefully moving the body back down and moving those legs out in front of you. And move long ways on your mat if you're not there already. We're going to go down in to our Pre-Shavasana. So coming down to your back. Careful with your body. Bring your right knee into the chest, keeping your left leg extended long with some energy. And keep that toes pointed up so you're neutral from the hip socket. We're going to do a little bit of a supine twist here. So take your left hand and sort of cross it over your right knee, and then bring that right leg across your body to the left. Great place for a block here. Placing it underneath your right knee. Aim is to get that cross right shoulder to be down on the ground, but it doesn't have to be today. It can only be where you are, so just be there. Let's take 3 good breaths here in our supine twist. Your neck can tell you where your gaze should be. Your other hand can be comfortably on the body. When you're ready, carefully bring that right knee back into the chest. Squeeze it in for just a moment, and then release it down next to your left. And then very deliberately we move to the other side. So always mindful of the transitions in yoga and in life. Bringing that left knee into the chest, squeezing it in, keeping that back flat on the floor, shoulders drawn slightly down, and then take your right hand, crossing it over the left knee, drawing that left knee across the body. Again, placing a block underneath if you need to. More importantly is that you have that cross stretch. More important than getting that shoulder on the ground, but that's the way you want to aim. Let your neck tell you where you need to look. Maybe your eyes are also closed. One more breath here. Carefully bring the left knee back into the body and bring the right knee in to meet it. So we're going to move into plow pose from here. If you have another pose that you would like to do before the end of practice, please feel free. But the reason I wanted to do this pose is that you have a little bit of the sensory sort of deprivation element going on, which I think is really interesting to counter with our theme of openness. So raise your legs up into the sky, so straight up from the hips. Keep a little engagement in the legs. You can place your palms on the flat next to your body, and you can use that as just a little bit of momentum to get some lift in the back. So what we're going to do is move our legs back and aiming toward, and don't look to the side when you do these postures, any of these. Keep your neck straight. So you want to aim to get your toes possibly to the floor behind you. And really feeling that stretch through the spine. And then the sensory deprivation comes in a little bit already, because you're probably looking at a part of your body you maybe don't look at, so maybe your eyes are closed. But also you can drop your knees down next to your ears, close your eyes, and move into Def Yogi and have a true sensory deprivation experience. It really just puts you in a totally different place. Wherever you are, let's take 2 more deep breaths. I'm so proud of you if you're trying this for the first time. And gently move out of your version of the posture, and then carefully rolling back, vertebra by vertebra, coming back. Allow your hands to help you. Maybe bring the knees into the chest and squeeze them. And now from that sort of tight, curled in, closed position, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, let everything go, Shavasana. Moving from a place of restriction and feeling closed into complete surrender. Here we have our palms up, our eyes closed, and our body sinking into our mat. And we are ready to receive. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Place no pressure on yourself for what to do here. You have to do nothing, you just have to be. Continue to breathe here, and I will let you know when it's time to come back. Self-hug, something we all should do more often, is truly, truly love ourselves and show ourselves compassion. Feel satisfied here. Carefully move on to your left side, placing your left palm up, kind of making a little pillow with your hands. I want you to take the deepest breath you've taken this whole practice. Inhale. Sigh it out. Beautiful. Use your right hand to press yourself up into a seated position. Keep your eyes closed if you can. We will close our practice together from our Sukhasana or any comfortable seated position for you. Placing your palms on your knees. Take this moment to thank yourself for honoring what your body needed today, for resetting in these few moments together, and for allowing yourself to be open to good things. Inhale, arms up above your head. Exhale, gently bring your hands to heart center. Inhaling, bring your knuckles to your third eye. And we bow together, Namaste. Great job, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great practice.